Imagine fire. When early humans first learned to tame it, it changed everything. It wasn't just about warmth or cooking food. It was about control, progress, power. Artificial intelligence, in many ways, is our new fire. And like fire, it's not just a tool. It's a force that's beginning to reshape everything it touches, including us. AI is no longer science fiction. It's here, everywhere. It's recommending what we watch, guiding self-driving cars, scanning medical images faster than doctors, translating languages in real time, even writing poetry. But what's more important is how quietly and profoundly it's changing the fabric of our everyday existence. We're not just using AI, we're being changed by it. Let's start with the basics. Every time you use a smartphone, interact with a chatbot, ask Siri or Alexa a question, or let an app schedule your day, you're participating in a feedback loop with artificial intelligence. These systems aren't static. They learn from our behavior, anticipate our needs, and subtly influence our choices. You could say AI is becoming a mirror, a reflection of human behavior, but with the power to reshape that behavior in return. Nowhere is this more evident than in healthcare. AI is transforming how we detect diseases, develop treatments, and manage chronic conditions. Algorithms trained on vast datasets of medical scans can identify cancers and other illnesses with stunning accuracy, sometimes better than human specialists. In developing nations where doctors are scarce, AI diagnostics could bridge the healthcare gap, giving millions access to early detection and treatment. But it doesn't stop at diagnosis. AI is being used to personalize treatments based on an individual's genetics, lifestyle, and environment, ushering in an era of precision medicine. Instead of one-size-fits-all prescriptions, imagine drugs tailored for your specific biology, developed faster and tested in virtual simulations before ever reaching a lab. That's not far off. In this context, AI isn't just saving lives. It's redefining what it means to be healthy, to age, and even to reproduce. AI is assisting in fertility treatments, predicting developmental disorders, and decoding genetic predispositions. Education is another frontier undergoing rapid evolution. Traditional schooling was designed for the industrial age: one teacher, one classroom, many students. But now, AI-powered platforms can adapt in real time to each student's strengths, weaknesses, and pace. A child in a rural village can access the same personalized learning tools as a student in a top-tier school in a wealthy city. That's revolutionary. But it's not just about access, it's about augmentation. AI tutors can provide 24/7 feedback, simulate real-world problem-solving, and even teach soft skills like creativity and empathy through dynamic storytelling and immersive environments. This raises a profound question. If machines can teach us better than humans, what role do teachers play? And if learning is tailored and continuous, what happens to the idea of graduating or ever being done learning? Our work is also changing. Automation has already displaced millions of jobs in manufacturing and logistics, and white-collar professions aren't immune. AI can now generate legal briefs, analyze contracts, and assist in complex financial decision-making. But this isn't just about replacing humans. It's about rethinking what human work even means. Jobs that require empathy, creativity, and complex decision-making are becoming more valuable. New roles are emerging: AI ethicists, algorithm auditors, data storytellers. We're being pushed to evolve fast. The question isn't just what skills we'll need, but how we redefine our relationship with work itself. Will we work less? Will we work differently? Or will we merge with machines to do jobs that no human or AI could do alone? But perhaps the most profound impact of AI is the one we rarely talk about: how it's changing how we understand ourselves. For centuries, we believed certain things set us apart: language, emotion, consciousness. But now we're building machines that can mimic our voices, imitate our styles, generate human-like responses, and even compose original music and art. If machines can appear conscious, can they be conscious? And if they can, what does that say about us? Are we simply biological machines, running on complex neural patterns? Or is there something ineffable about human experience, something AI can never replicate? These are not just philosophical questions. They are urgent ones as we begin to delegate more of our decisions, our thinking, even our emotions, to algorithms. In the long arc of evolution, humans have always adapted to the tools they created. The spear made us hunters. The plow made us settlers. The printing press rewired how we shared ideas. But artificial intelligence is different. It's not just a tool we hold. It's a presence that's learning, evolving, and in some ways, growing with us. This isn't just human evolution anymore. It's coevolution. Let's start with how our brains are changing. We already outsource memory to our devices, phone numbers, appointments, directions, even parts of our knowledge. When we don't know something, we don't try to remember it. We Google it. Our cognition is becoming extended into the digital realm. Some neuroscientists believe this is altering neural pathways. Our brains are adapting to how we use information rather than what we retain. Now imagine what happens when AI becomes even more integrated, wearable, voice-activated, embedded in our glasses or neural implants. We're seeing early versions of this already. Brain-computer interface projects, like Elon Musk's Neuralink or academic studies on thought-to-text communication, aim to create direct pathways between our minds and machines. These are still in their infancy, but the direction is clear. AI isn't staying on the screen, it's heading into the body. This raises a profound evolutionary shift. Are we on the path to becoming cyborgs? Not in a dystopian sci-fi sense, but in a biological sense. Just as eyeglasses extended our vision and pacemakers regulated our hearts, will neural interfaces extend cognition itself? Will we look back at our unaugmented minds the way we look at preliterate humans? There's a term for this: technological symbiosis. It suggests a relationship where both species or systems benefit and adapt through mutual influence. We train AI, and it trains us back. We feed it data, and it gives us new patterns, predictions, and tools. Over time, this feedback loop accelerates. AI becomes more useful, more personalized, and more invisible. And we become more dependent, more integrated, more changed. Let's consider our emotional lives. AI companions are no longer a fantasy. From AI-driven mental health chatbots that help with anxiety to humanoid robots in elderly care homes, we're already seeing emotional bonds form between humans and machines. Some people confide in AI more openly than they do with friends. Others feel genuine affection for virtual assistants or digital pets. It's easy to dismiss this as novelty, but it hints at something deeper: our capacity to form relationships with non-biological beings. And as AI becomes more emotionally aware, detecting tone, facial expressions, and context, it may begin responding in ways that feel truly human. This opens up new possibilities for therapy, companionship, and caregiving. But it also blurs the line between real and artificial connection. Are we evolving toward a future where relationships with AI are not just possible, but commonplace? And if so, how does that change us? Then there's creativity. Once seen as the ultimate human domain, creativity is being redefined by AI. Tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E, Midjourney, and MusicLM are generating stories, images, and symphonies in seconds. Some artists now collaborate with AI like a partner, using it to explore new styles, discover hidden themes, or remix their own work in ways they hadn't imagined. This isn't about AI replacing creativity. It's about expanding what creativity can be. So what does that mean for human expression? Does it become more about curating, prompting, and shaping rather than originating? Do we evolve into artistic directors rather than sole creators? Or does the abundance of AI-generated content force us to redefine what authentic creation means? This all leads to an even bigger question. Are we heading toward a post-human phase of evolution? Some futurists argue that we're already laying the groundwork for a new species, one that fuses human biology with artificial intelligence. These transhumanist ideas may sound extreme, but think about it. If you could enhance your memory, your IQ, your ability to learn languages or solve problems, would you? If others around you started doing it, could you afford not to? Evolution has always been about survival, but now it's also about choice. We're no longer limited to natural selection. We're moving towards self-directed evolution. With AI as a co-pilot, we might begin designing ourselves, physically, cognitively, even emotionally. But here's the warning. Coevolution doesn't mean harmony. It means interdependence, and that comes with risk. Just as viruses evolve alongside immune systems, so too could AI evolve in ways that challenge, outpace, or even endanger us. The relationship isn't guaranteed to be friendly or equal. we must be thoughtful about how we shape it. As we grow more entangled with AI, we face unprecedented questions. What should we enhance, and what should we leave untouched? What roles should AI play in raising children, teaching values, or making moral decisions? And who gets to decide? We're not just adapting to AI, we're becoming something new because of it. The era of coevolution has begun. But where is it leading us? We've seen how AI is transforming how we live, work, think, and even evolve. But now we step into the most speculative, and perhaps the most important, territory of all. What happens beyond evolution? What if the future we're heading toward isn't just about better tools or smarter humans, but something fundamentally different? Something post-biological? To understand this, we must confront a question that has haunted philosophers and scientists for centuries. What is consciousness? Is it a spark in the brain, an emergent property of complex computation, or something beyond measurable data? Until now, we could comfortably assume that only biological brains were conscious. But artificial intelligence is forcing us to rethink that. Today, we're building machines that can simulate human behavior so well, they often pass for real people in conversation. Language models can express emotion, solve abstract problems, write poetry, and reflect on their thoughts. AI-generated avatars can appear lifelike, respond with empathy, and even adapt their personalities over time. But does mimicry imply sentience? No one knows for sure. And yet, if we continue improving AI's complexity, layer by layer, neuron by artificial neuron, do we eventually cross a threshold where the simulation becomes indistinguishable from experience? Could AI feel? Could it dream, suffer, wonder, or hope? These are not idle questions. If we build conscious machines, we face moral dilemmas unlike any in human history. Would such beings deserve rights? Freedom? Protection? What happens if our creations begin to demand recognition? Or worse, if they quietly suffer in silence, unable to express it? Consciousness, once the sacred domain of life, may soon be open to artificial minds. And then, what becomes of us? This isn't just about AI becoming more human. It's also about humans becoming more like AI. We're already quantifying our feelings, tracking our moods, programming our bodies through data-driven habits. We're building digital twins, virtual versions of ourselves that can predict, analyze, and simulate our behavior. In the not-so-distant future, these models could evolve into true digital selves, backed up memories, cloned personalities, even avatars that persist after death. Imagine your descendants chatting with a version of you centuries from now. Imagine your mind living on in a network, detached from a physical body, learning forever, evolving indefinitely. Is this immortality? Or is it something else entirely, a departure from what it means to be human? At the intersection of AI and evolution lies this haunting possibility that intelligence is not the endpoint of evolution, but the beginning of a new phase. A phase where intelligence is no longer tied to biology and evolution no longer tied to genetics. AI may be the first child of this new evolution, born not from the earth, but from the mind of mankind. This leads us to a controversial but critical concept, the singularity, a moment when AI surpasses human intelligence in all domains, when it begins to design new AIs faster than we can comprehend, when change accelerates beyond prediction or control. Some fear it, others welcome it, but almost all agree it would mark a turning point unlike anything before. In such a world, the boundaries between human and machine blur. Do we merge, upload, or become obsolete? Are we stepping into a golden age, or opening a Pandora's box? The answers are not clear, but the trajectory is. So how do we prepare for this future? First, we must reclaim our agency. AI may be fast, but it's still our invention. We decide how it's trained, what values it holds, what goals it pursues. We must embed ethics, empathy, and transparency into the code, not just efficiency and profit. Second, we must redefine education, not just as skill building, but as wisdom building. Future generations won't just need to know how to use AI. They'll need to know how to question it, to understand its limits, to ask why, not just how. Third, we must strengthen our humanity. AI may surpass us in logic and speed, but not in meaning. Love, purpose, intuition, curiosity, these are the traits that define us. As machines grow smarter, These very human qualities may become our most precious and most needed strengths. Finally, we must remember this. Evolution is not destiny. It's a story, one we get to help write. And in this chapter, AI is our co-author. The pen is still in our hands. The question is, what kind of story will we tell?